जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतः श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतः श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, The Glories of Devotional Service, text number 35. Pashyanti te me ruchirani amba santaha. Pashyanti te me ruchiranyamba santaha. Pashyanti te me ruchiranyamba santaha. Prasanna vaktra aruna lochanani. Prasanna vaktra aruna lochanani. Prasanna vaktra aruna lochanani. Rupani divyani varapradani. Rupani divyani varapradani. Rupani divyani varapradani. Sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti. Sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti. Sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti. Pashyanti te me ruchiranyamba santaha. Prasanna vaktra runalochanani. Rupani divyani varapradani. Sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti. Pashyanti te me ruchiranyamba santaha. Prasanna vaktra runalochanani. Rupani divyani varapradani. Sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti. Pashyanti, see, te, they, me, my, ruchirani, beautiful, amba, O mother, santaha, devotees, prasanna, smiling, Vaktra, face, Aruna, like the morning sun, Lochanani, eyes, Rupani, forms, Divyani, transcendental, Varapradani, benevolent, Sakam, with me, Vacham, words, Sprihaniyam, favorable, Vadanti, they speak. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. O my mother, my devotees always see the smiling face of my form with eyes like the rising morning sun. They like to see my various transcendental forms which are all benevolent, and they also talk favorably with me. Kindly repeat, O my mother, my devotees always see the smiling face of my form with eyes like the rising morning sun. They like to see my various transcendental forms which are all benevolent, and they also talk favorably with me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Mayavadis and atheists accept the forms of the deities in the temple of the Lord as idols, but devotees do not worship idols. They directly worship the personality of Godhead in His Archa incarnation. Archa refers to the form which we can worship in our present condition. Actually, in our present state, it is not possible to see God in His spiritual form because our material eyes and senses cannot conceive of a spiritual form. We cannot even see the spiritual form of the individual soul. When a man dies, we cannot see how the spiritual form leaves the body. That is the defect of our material senses. In order to be seen by our material senses, the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts a favorable form which is called Archa Vigraha. This Archa Vigraha, sometimes called the Archa Incarnation, is not different from Him. Just as the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepts various incarnations, He takes on forms made out of matter, clay, wood, metals, and jewels. There are many Shastric injunctions which give instructions for carving forms of the Lord. These forms are not material. If God is all-pervading, then He is also in the material elements. There is no doubt about it. But the atheists think otherwise. Although they preach that everything is God, when they go to the temple and see the form of the Lord, they deny that He is God. According to their own theory, everything is God. Then why is the deity not God? Actually, they have no conception of God. The devotee's vision, however, is different. Their vision is smeared with love of God. As soon as they see the Lord in His different forms, the devotees become saturated with love, for they do not find any difference between the Lord and His form in the temple, as do the atheists. The smiling face of the deity in the temple is beheld by the devotees as transcendental and spiritual. And the decoration of the body of the Lord is very much appreciated by the devotees. It is the duty of the spiritual master to teach how to decorate the deity in the temple, how to cleanse the temple, and how to worship the deity. There are different procedures and rules and regulations which are followed in temples of Vishnu, and devotees go there and see the deity, the Vigraha, and spiritually enjoy the form because all of the deities are benevolent. The devotees express their minds before the deity, and in many instances the deity also gives answers. But one must be a very elevated devotee in order to be able to speak with the Supreme Lord. Sometimes the Lord informs the devotee through dreams. These exchanges of feelings between the deity and the devotee are not understandable by atheists, but actually the devotee enjoys them. Kapila Muni is explaining how the devotees see the decorated body and face of the deity and how they speak with him in devotional service. That's in the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणम्. Couple of days back we had Ganesh Chaturthi, and all over India there were celebrations. Everybody was worshipping Lord Ganesha. On the streets everywhere you could find people erecting pandals, keeping Ganesha there, worshipping him, doing various activities. And this Ganesh Chaturthi, especially in Maharashtra, is very, very popular. And the Bollywood industry is based out of Bombay. So all the actors, actresses, celebrities, the media, they were publishing pictures of all of them doing puja to Ganesha. And they're all showing their devotion. Somebody is doing arati, somebody is folding the hands and praying, etc., etc. One actress like this, they had put her picture also. She was also doing one arati to Ganesha. And then they interviewed her, what if she had something to say. And she was saying, idol worship has to be done within certain limits. It should not be blown out of proportion. The mood is that we are doing all this puja, keeping one clay deity of Ganesha, and we are doing puja and all that. Actually, there is no Ganesha and all that. It is just one doll we are keeping, and some in tradition we have this, in religion we have some sort of faith, and we are doing it. So we are also doing. This is the mood. Actually, these people have no faith in God, but make an external show of worshipping a vigraha or a deity and call it an idol or a statue. And they say this is all simply for the sake of keeping the faith. Everybody feels nice doing it, so we do it. And it's an opportunity for all of us to celebrate, have a good feast, and meet people and exchange some gifts and all these kind of things. So that way it is a good thing to do. No harm, so let us do it. But actually, is Ganesha there? No, this is all imagination. This is all simply faith, that's all. This is the mood. And that is why that actress is also saying that idol worship has to be done within certain limits. So this is the vision of an atheist. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, more than 500 years back, in 1510 AD, he took sannyas. After taking sannyas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took in Katwa. And after taking sannyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan. Because he was absorbed in love of Krishna, he wanted to go to Vrindavan. Nityananda Prabhu misled him and brought him to Shantipura, to Advaita Acharya's house. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Advaita Acharya's house, Shachi Mata was also called. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has now taken sannyas, her son is going away. At least one last time she should get an opportunity to see him. And Shachi Mata came there, and there was a very tender exchange between mother and son, Shachi Mata and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, my dear mother, this body belongs to you. It is meant to serve you. But somehow or the other, because of some madness, I have taken sannyas. Please forgive me for not performing my duties of a son. Then Shachi Mata was also crying, and she requested Mahaprabhu that if you go away completely, then I will lose my life. But if you go to Jagannath Puri, every year during the Rath Yatra, many devotees go from Bengal to Jagannath Puri and they come back. When they come back, I'll keep getting news about you. that will keep me going, that will keep me alive. At least there is some hope for me if I keep hearing about you. Please don't go anywhere else. Please stay in Jagannath Puri. And upon his mother's request, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed his mind and he decided to go to Jagannath Puri. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to go to Jagannath Puri, Advaita Acharya, he sent with Mahaprabhu 4 devotees. One is Nityananda Prabhu, another was Jagadananda Pandit, the third was Damodar Pandit, and the fourth was Mukunda Datta. These 4 devotees accompanied Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was carrying his danda and he was walking along. He had his beads, he was chanting on the beads, and behind him, along with him, all these devotees were also accompanying. And walking, they came to Baleshwar, where there is Kirchor Gopinath. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had heard about Madhavendra Puri and Kirchor Gopinath's pastime from his spiritual master, Ishwara Puri. And he narrated the same thing to all the devotees who were accompanying him. And then from there they went to Bhuvaneshwar. And Bhuvaneshwar, there is that famous Shiva temple. They had darshan there. And then, when they were walking from Bhuvaneshwar towards Jagannath Puri, the distance was about 6 miles. At that time, from that distance, they could see that shikhar of Jagannath temple. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that shikhar of Jagannath temple, he became overwhelmed by ecstasy. He gave his danda to Nityananda Prabhu and he started dancing and singing Hare Krishna mantra. And all the devotees accompanying also started dancing and singing. And as they came along, on the way there are a couple of rivers, they came across the Bhargi Nadi. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is lost seeing that shikhar of Jagannath Puri temple. And he has forgotten himself by singing and dancing. Nityananda Prabhu took this opportunity. He broke Mahaprabhu's danda into 3 parts and threw into the river. And Mahaprabhu is completely unaware. He has lost himself. And he is singing and dancing and they are going. Then at the entrance of Puri, there is one place called Atharnala. That's a small bridge which you have to cross to enter into Puri. When they reached Atharnala, suddenly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back to his senses. And he said, "Where is my danda?" Then Nityananda Prabhu replied, "You were singing and dancing in ecstasy, you forgot yourself. And in your ecstasy you swooned and you were about to fall down. And I caught hold of you. And both of us fell on your danda broke into pieces and I threw into the river." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood what is going on. He became very upset. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I took sannyas, I've given up my everything, my only possession was that danda. That also you people have thrown away. I don't want to come with you people. Either you people go ahead, I'll come behind, or I will go ahead, you people come behind. I don't want to come with you people." So Mukunda Datta said, "Mahaprabhu, no problem. You go ahead first. We will come a little later behind you. No problem. You please go." He wanted to somehow pacify him. So Mahaprabhu, immediately he started running towards Jagannath temple because he was full of, so eager to have darshan of Jagannath. And very quickly he proceeded. Very fast he was walking and running. Finally he reached the Jagannath temple. And the moment he reached Jagannath temple, he entered the temple and he started running towards the deity of Jagannath. And when he saw Jagannath sitting there with Baldev and Subhadra Maiya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lost his consciousness. He fainted and fell on the floor. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell like that, a big commotion arose. All the pandas there, hey, what is this? This man is coming running, he is fallen on the ground, what is this? And all this kind of things. Naturally, no. Suppose somebody walks into the temple here now and suddenly he falls unconscious on the floor. All of us will be running around what to do. The pandas also, they were immediately, commotion arose, and the guard, whoever was there, the security guard, he came running and he took a stick. "I'm going to beat this fellow. Who is he? What does he think of himself? He's coming into the temple and doing all this." He was ready to beat him. But Mahaprabhu is completely unaware. He is lying unconscious. At that time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the chief priest of the king Prataparudra, he happened to be there in the temple hall. And when the commotion happened, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also came there. Chief priest is a highly respected person. Everybody recognizes him and he's like a very big person. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw what had happened and he saw this beautiful young sannyasi lying on the floor, effulgent. And he understood this is not an ordinary person. So he immediately forbade the guard, hey, don't do anything, wait. And seeing the kind of crowd and people's darshan is getting affected, everybody is milling around. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya thought, this is not the place to take care of this. He called his servants and told him, pick up this sannyasi, let's take him to my house. Some privacy will be there. Let people, Shishi, Krishna, Rukmini, Satyabhama, let people have their darshan. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya took Mahaprabhu to his home. He laid him on a proper place. And then he started observing him. And when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's stomach is not moving, there is no breathing symptom, and practically no movement. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya kept his finger near his nostril. No breathing. He became concerned, what has happened? But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was well learned in the scriptures. He thought, let me see, one more thing. He took a soft cotton swab, small piece of cotton, and he kept it in front of Mahaprabhu's nostril. And he saw that, the fine hairs of the cotton are there. Slightly they were moving. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya understood, he is alive. He is alive. But all the symptoms of life are practically vanished. And he immediately recognized, this is a very high stage of bhava. Sattvika. The Sattvika Vikara has happened. And he understood and he identified the symptoms also. So he was thinking what to do. Who is this sannyasi? Where has he come from? He was thinking like this. In the meantime, the other 4 devotees, Jagadananda Pandit, Damodar Pandit, Mukunda Datta and Nityananda Prabhu, they entered Jagannath Puri and they came to the entrance. I think it was the Simhadwara. They came there to the temple. And there they heard some people speaking like this. One sannyasi today, you know what happened? Some sannyasi, unknown sannyasi, some new person, he came into the temple and he fell down unconscious. So immediately these devotees understood they are talking about Mahaprabhu. Then they started inquiring, what happened? So these people told them, no, this sannyasi came and then he fell down and he became unconscious. We were all very disturbed. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya came and took him to his home. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is he? Where is he? Where has he taken Mahaprabhu? They were thinking like that. At that time, Gopinatha Acharya, he was the brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and he had earlier been in Navadvip. And he knew all the devotees and he was a great devotee of Mahaprabhu also. He came to Jagannath Puri temple for darshan, Jagannath darshan, and he saw all this. And he recognized Nityananda Prabhu. Oh, Nityananda Prabhu has come. He immediately offered his obeisances. Then he started speaking to all of them. All of you come here. What is this? Wonderful. Very glad to see all of you here. And then these people told, like this, we came, Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas. Oh, is that so? Gopinatha Acharya had not known that he has taken sannyas. And then they said, and after that, Shachimata asked him to be in Jagannath Puri. And that's how we came. Mahaprabhu came a little ahead of us. Now we heard that he fell unconscious in the temple. And somebody called Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has taken him to his home. Gopinatha Acharya replied, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he is my brother-in-law, come, I'll take you. And he took all the devotees to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's home. And he came and introduced them. These are all the people, they are known to me and all that. And the moment Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw Nityananda Prabhu, Avaduta, he immediately offered him his obeisances. And then he said, don't worry. He took them to Mahaprabhu. He was in a separate room. And he showed them, he is right now in this condition. Don't worry about him. He is safe. You people go. You have not had darshan of Jagannath. You go have darshan of Jagannath and come. After that, we'll deal with him. Until then, Mahaprabhu, he is safe here. Then all these 4 devotees, they went to the temple to have darshan. Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadanand Pandit, Damodar Pandit and Mukunda Datta. Moment Nityananda Prabhu came in front of Jagannath, he almost fainted and fell down. Immediately the other 3 devotees, they caught him and they had to keep him steady, otherwise he would have fallen on the ground. They had to hold him. And then with great difficulty, Nityananda Prabhu managed to maintain his composure. And they had darshan and the pandas gave some garlands and all that. And then finally, somehow they managed to pacify Nityananda Prabhu and brought him back to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. And when they came back, still Mahaprabhu is like that only. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya did not know what to do. He said, he is not waking up, nothing is happening. What to do? I tried various means to wake him up, nothing is happening. And these devotees knew how to wake him up. Immediately they started Sankirtan, loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And immediately Mahaprabhu woke up and came to his senses. Where am I? Like that. And they all told him what happened, and they introduced him to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and all that. And that's how the whole Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got introduced to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the devotees. In this whole incident, you can see how when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu came in front of Jagannath, they were not seeing simple idols or some wooden statues. Why did they swoon? Why did they fall unconscious? Because the moment they saw Jagannath on the altar, they were not seeing some wooden deity. They saw Krishna standing there and smiling at them. And the moment they saw Krishna standing there, they fell unconscious. This is the vision of a devotee. You see, the vision of an atheist, idol worship has to be done within limits. Whereas when a devotee sees the deity of Krishna, Swayam Krishna is standing there, what a captivating smile, and the devotee's heart overflows with love and emotion, and he cannot control himself. He falls unconscious. This is the reaction of a devotee. Actually, if you see any temple you go, you see the deities, especially of Krishna, Vishnu, you find them standing with a beautiful smile on their face. Why is the deity always smiling? Why not show some anger or some other emotion? But always the deity is smiling. Actually, when Krishna, 5,000 years ago, when he was called upon by Kamsa to come to Mathura, on the plea of conducting a mela, Krishna, Balaram, along with Nanda Maharaj and the cowherds, they came to Mathura. And when they came to Mathura, there was a big wrestling match which was organized, and everybody was invited. Even the Vrajavasis were invited by Kamsa to attend that. Kamsa's plan was that he will have the wrestlers, all his associates, Chanura, Mushtika, Tosala, all very powerful wrestlers. And they were all very close friends of Kamsa. Kamsa's idea was invite these boys, and Chanura, Mushtika and all of them will pummel them and finish them. They will pummel them to death. They are all expert wrestlers, fighters, one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat. They were all experts. That was Kamsa's plan. Krishna and Balaram were, however, not in the least bothered. So they very coolly, they entered the arena. And when they entered the arena, all the entire assembly, when they saw Krishna and Balaram, they saw how Krishna is so beautiful. And he is Komalanga. He is just turning 16. Actually, he was only 10.5 years old. But he appeared like a new, fresh youth. And all his limbs, his face and all, so tender, so delicate. Like a lotus flower, like a flower petal. You know how flower petals are. They are so delicate. You take a flower petal and crush it in your hand, it will all become paste. Petals are so, flowers are so delicate, tender. Krishna's body, they could see, so tender, Komalanga, so beautiful. And but then when the wrestlers, Chanura, Mushtika and all these people, when they saw Krishna, they did not see a tender young boy there. What they saw, they felt like a thunderbolt had hit them. Mallanam Asanir. My God, we have to fight with this person? Oh, he is too powerful. And they were thinking, oh, now we have had a tough match on our hand today. You see their vision. And then they invited Krishna and Balaram. Come, Krishna and Balaram, come, let us have a wrestling match. We have heard that you are very powerful, you are very strong people, so we are waiting to have a wrestling match with you. Krishna replied, we are cowherd boys, we simply wrestle in the forest for fun, for playing. We are not professional wrestlers, we are all professional wrestlers, so we are not an equal match for you. Then Chanura said, no, we have heard you have killed Agasura, Bakasura and all these people. You are not ordinary. We know you're strong. Come, come, let us fight. Then Krishna and Balaram said, okay. So you are calling us, we will come. So he tightened his cloth and all those kind of things. And Krishna, held the hands of Chanura, and Balaram held, I think, Mushtika or somebody. And both of them started pushing, pulling, hitting on the chest and trying to grapple with each other. You know how wrestling happens. All this is going on. So for Chanura and Mushtika, it's a life and death battle. Powerful enemy we are fighting with. Now in that assembly, there were so many women of Mathura also. Young girls, women, young women, they were all watching what was happening. And they said, what is this young, small kids? They are fighting with this mountain like a, wrestler, so strongly built. You have seen, some of you might have seen all this WWE and all that, how full of rippling muscles and all that, and 8-pack abs and all those kind of things. These Chanura Mushtika were all like that. And here Krishna is Komalanga, such a, simple cowherd boy with very tender limbs. And they are fighting with these boys. How? This is an uneven match. This is not the way things. Match means it should be between people who are of the same level. And this tender boy, such powerful fighters, they are fighting. It's a completely mismatch. This is against the principles of religion. Religious principles have left this place. They were thinking like that. They were talking amongst themselves. Then they started, look at Krishna. Look at his face. Look at the beads of perspiration on his forehead. It is looking so beautiful. After that, the women forgot all about the Chanura, Mushtika, about the wrestling, everything. They started looking at the beauty of Krishna. They got lost in the... And although Krishna is fighting with Chanura, Mushtika and all that, Chanura, Mushtika are like that, we have to fight him, we have to finish him. And Krishna is happily smiling, and he is pushing and pulling and all that. So they saw the smiling face of Krishna. First time they were seeing, because Krishna had always been in Vrindavan. No, they had heard many times about Krishna's beauty, but this was the first time they were actually seeing with their eyes, and they were seeing the beautiful beads of perspiration decorating Krishna's lotus face and his beautiful smile. And when they saw that, they forgot everything else. And they said, Punya bata vrajabhuvo yadiyam nrilinga guda purana purusho vanachitra malyaha. That look at Krishna, vanachitra malyaha, he is wearing such a beautiful garland of forest flowers. And nrilinga gudaha, he appears just like an ordinary human being, but he is purana purusha. He is the supreme personality, he is the oldest person. And not only that, Gapalayan Sabalaha. And he always, we have heard that every day he goes to take the cows for grazing in the forests of Vrindavan, along with Sahabalaha, along with Balarama. And what does he do when he is taking the cows for grazing? Konayansa Venum, he plays on his flute. This is what we have heard. And who is this Krishna? Vikridanchati. Like this, he is playing around in the forests of Vrindavan and in Vraja. And who is this Krishna? Giritra Ramarchitangrihi. Giritra, Lord Shiva, and Rama, Lakshmi Devi, they are constantly worshipping the lotus feet of this Krishna. And that Krishna, with those lotus feet which are worshipped by Shiva and Lakshmi, he is roaming around, playing around in the fields of Vraja. How punya bata vrajabhuvo, how glorified, how fortunate is the land of Vrajabhumi to have the lotus feet of Krishna upon them. And not only is the land of Vrindavan, land of Vraja, so glorified, so fortunate. Gopyas tapah kimacharan yadamushya rupam lavanya saram asamordhvam. That what punya, what kind of meritorious activities what kind of pious activities have the gopis done? Gopis of Vraja, what have they done? That they are able to every day, Pashyanti, every day they are able to, Drigbihi pibantyo anusavabhinavam durapam. Every day with their eyes, they are able to drink the intoxicating nectar. Asava means intoxication, alcohol. In Ayurveda also, there are some medicines which have self-generated alcohol as the medium for carrying the medicine. such things, it will be called some asava. XYZ asava it will be called. Asava means it is having a self-generated alcohol. So, the gopis, drigbihi pibanti, everyday pibanti, they are drinking anusava binavam. They are everyday drinking the intoxicating nectar of what? And they are drinking how? Not through the mouth. Drigbihi, with the eyes they are drinking. What they are drinking? The form of Krishna. Lavanya saram. It is the essence of all sweetness. Asamordhvam. There is nobody you can find in the whole creation who has beauty equal to or more than that of Krishna. Krishna is the most beautiful personality. And the gopis, every day they are able to drink the nectar of the lotus face of Krishna. What pious activities they must have done. There is nobody more fortunate than them. In other words, what they are saying, that there is no austerity, tapaha, that you can perform which will give you the fortune of being able to see Krishna every day. The only price to pay to be able to get that fortune of seeing Krishna every day is to render loving devotional service to him under the guidance of a pure devotee. Otherwise, you can do any number of austerities. You can develop yoga, you can become a great yogi, you can become a great jnani, but you cannot get this fortune of being able to drink the nectar of the beauty of the lotus face of Krishna every day. And then, not only that, after seeing and drinking this lotus face of Krishna, what do the gopis do? Ya dohane avahanane matanopalepa prenke kanarba ruditokshana majjanado. The gopis are daily, they are not able to see Krishna constantly throughout the day. Throughout the day, they are engaged in so many activities. Dohana, they have to milk the cow. Then they have to majjana, they have to clean the house and the courtyard and all that. Ruditokshana, arba ruditokshana, children in the house will be crying, they have to take care of them. And sometimes Prenkenkana, they will be going and sitting on the swing and playing. So they are involved in all these kind of activities. Prokshana, they will be sprinkling water everywhere because Vrindavan is a very dusty place. They have to keep the place clean and neat. So they are involved in all these regular household chores, which are all, simple activities. But while doing all these things, Gayanti chainam anurakta ashrukantyo. While doing all these things, they are constantly Gayanti chainam, they are constantly singing about the glories and activities and beauty of Krishna. And how are they doing it? Anurakta. With great love for Krishna, they are doing it. With anurakta. With anurakti, they are doing. And when they are doing this, they are carrying out their household chores. They are brooming the floor, they are mopping it, they are sprinkling water here, they are pacifying the crying child, all these things they are doing. And they are simultaneously, they are singing about Krishna. And with great love, and when they are doing that, what is happening? Their throats are getting choked, their voice is getting choked. Anurakta dhiyo. And with great love, they are glorifying Krishna, and simultaneously, what is happening? Their throats are getting choked, the tears are coming from their eyes. Dhanya vrajastriya urukrama chittayanaha. Their chitta, their mind is absorbed in urukrama Krishna. How fortunate are the gopis that they have this great fortune of being able to see Krishna every day, drink the beauty of his nectar, and constantly be absorbed in Krishna. And every day, what does Krishna do? Pratar vrajat vrajata avishatasta sayam. Krishna in the early morning, he wakes up and he goes out of Vrindavan, taking all the cows. Gobihi samam, along with the cows, he goes out. And early in the morning, he goes and he comes back. Avishatasta sayam. He returns only in the evening. And in between, the gopis are doing all these things. Because in the morning, Krishna left. And evening, Krishna is coming back. In between, they are not able to see Krishna. They are engaged in all these activities, and they are remembering Krishna, and their voices are getting choked. They are becoming stunned. They are not able to carry out their normal duties. And when Krishna comes back, along with the cows, how does he come? Kvanayato asya venum. He comes playing on his flute. When Krishna is going out in the morning, he is playing his flute and going. When he is coming back in the evening also, he is playing on his flute. Kvanayato Nisamya Venum. And when Nisamya, when the gopis, they are doing all their duty, suddenly they hear Krishna's flute. And when they hear Krishna's flute, what happens? Turnam Nisamya. Immediately they run out of their homes. Whatever they are doing, they drop it. They are feeding the child, throw the child there and run out. They are brooming the floor, throw the broom there and run out. They are feeding their husbands, throw everything there and run out. And they are running out, and what they are doing? Pashyanti, they are looking upon the lotus face of Krishna. And when they see Krishna, how is Krishna looking at them? Krishna is looking at them. Sahasam sadayavalokam. Krishna is looking at them very mercifully, very benevolently. Krishna is looking at them with his sidelong glances from his lotus eyes. And Sahasam, with a beautiful smile on his face, he looks at them. And the gopis are waiting whole day to see that lotus face of Krishna with its beautiful smile on his face. So to see, for a devotee to see the lotus face of Krishna decorated with a beautiful smile is the culmination of all his desires. There is no greater perfection for a devotee than to gaze upon the beautiful lotus face of Krishna decorated with its beautiful smile. A person, when he smiles, he can smile for various purposes. Actually, you see, this phenomenon of smiling is very peculiar to the human society. It's said that some animals like chimpanzees also smile. So Darwin said that animals also, when they smile, it is for the same emotion of happiness like humans also do. But modern day scientists have found out that's not true. If a chimpanzee smiles at you, better you be careful. Don't smile back at him. The chimpanzee smiling means he's giving you a warning, I'm going to attack you. So chimpanzee does. So, but human species is the only species where expression of happiness happens through a smiling face. So you can express happiness with a smile also. But there are other reasons also for smiling. When a mother sees her baby, immediately you will see her face lights up with a smile. Why? Because of the love she has. When she looks upon the face of her baby, out of her love, she lovingly looks at the baby, immediately her face blossoms into a smile. This is natural. And the child also, baby also, when it sees the mother smiling, what does the baby experience? Baby also starts smiling. Because the baby sees the love of the mother in that smile, and the baby also experiences joy and it starts smiling. This is natural, isn't it? We have also experienced this, and we have seen other children and other mothers also, when they are together, we have experienced this. This is a very common thing. So smiling, a person may smile at another person when his heart is full of love for that person. When we look at the deity of Krishna in the temple, it's not some statue, it's not some idol. It is actually Krishna standing there. And if you see, the deity of Krishna is always smiling, because Krishna, who is standing there in that Archa Vigraha in the form of the deity, he is smiling out of love for his devotees. And therefore, the devotees are also always anxious to see the Archa Vigraha, the deity of Krishna. And that is why you will see devotees in the morning Mangalarati time, 4:30 a.m. The moment 4:30 is happening, we are all running to the temple. We want to see Krishna's lotus smiling face. So, and when we come to the temple and we see Krishna's smiling face, the deity's smiling face in the temple, today my life is successful. That day will be peaceful. One day we did not see Krishna's lotus face. Today, something is vacuum in the heart, something is missing, something has not happened. This is natural for a devotee. Therefore, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Nityananda Prabhu, when they saw Jagannath, they saw the beautiful smiling face of Jagannath, full of love for his devotees. And naturally, when they saw that the love that they experienced of Krishna, the joy that it brought to their hearts, they could not control their emotions, and they fell unconscious. So a devotee, when he sees the deity of Krishna, this is what he experiences. He actually is able to see how lovingly Krishna is standing there and glancing with benevolently upon all of us. And whereas an atheist sees some metal, some piece of wood is standing there, and people are all worshipping, it has to be done within certain limits. This is the difference in the vision of an atheist and that of a devotee. And that is why in today's verse, Kapila Deva is also stating, Pashyanti te me ruchirani amba santaha. Santaha me ruchirani prasanna vaktra arunalochanani. Pashyanti. Rupani divyani varapradani pashyanti. That also they say. They see. What do the devotees see? Oh my mother, my devotees always see the smiling face of my form with eyes like the early rising morning sun. The rising morning sun is a little reddish. If you see the horizon, when the sun is rising, it will be crimson red. Krishna's eyes are like that. They are a little crimson red at the corners. And when devotees see, reddish eyes of Krishna, like the morning sun, morning rising sun, and the smiling face of Krishna, how lovingly he is standing there looking upon us. Not only that, Pashyanti me divyani varapradani rupani. They see my various transcendental forms which are all benevolent. And not only that, Sprihaniyam vacham vadanti. They speak favorably with Krishna. For an atheist, it's just a metal piece or a wood piece, something standing there, or a clay doll standing there. But a devotee, when he stands in front of Krishna, he starts talking to him. And Krishna also talks to the devotee. Although for this one has to be highly elevated. And even a common neophyte devotee also, you will see, many people throng to temples like Tirupati and all these temples. They throng, and when they go there, when they go in front of Balaji, what do? They start praying. Praying means they start speaking with Balaji. And Balaji also reciprocates with them. He fulfills their desires. He fulfills their prayers. So this is the loving exchange between Krishna and his devotees. So when Krishna is standing there in his deity form in the temple with a smiling face, he is expressing his love, ready to fulfill the prayers of his devotees. And that is why when a devotee goes in front of the Lord in the temple, immediately in his heart he starts offering prayers. And if the devotee has sufficiently advanced, he can actually hear Krishna, the deity of Krishna, also talking to him. So these are all actual, factual realities for a devotee. For an atheist, all this appears like some stories, some faith and all these kind of things. But for a devotee, this is all reality, and Krishna as a person is standing there in the temple in the form of his Archa Vigraha, and he is giving him audience and he is glancing upon them benevolently. And so therefore, the devotees are always seeing. Pashyanti te me ruchirani. They are constantly, devotees are always anxious to see the smiling lotus face of Krishna, and this constitutes the culmination of the perfection of a devotee's spiritual progress. So we'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.